Welcome into RedRaiders.com. I'm Krista Pirtle, and this is part of the Raiders Storm Omaha Grand Slam coverage brought to you by ReggerDocsAutoGroup.com, a proud supporter of Texas Tech athletics for more than 13 years. Now, as you can probably hear, it's raining, so we're hiding in the dugout right now at the Creighton baseball field where Texas Tech just took its batting practice. It was more, they did the BP in the cages behind us, behind the camera that way, but they did take some fielding. These guys are really loose. Steven Smith and Anthony Lyons were trying to turn two as Smith was at short and Lyons was on second, and they couldn't really turn two because no one was on first, but that is how loose these guys are right now, which is good to see after such a heartbreaking loss yesterday to Big 12 foe TCU, as Luken Baker smashes a 3-run home run in the top of the ninth to send TCU to the winners portion of this bracket 2, and Texas Tech now has to fight for its life in the elimination bracket. But Texas Tech's opponent is a bit of a shocker, as once Texas Tech dropped that game to the Horned Frogs, a lot of Tech fans thought, all right, let's just get ready for Coastal Carolina. That's who we're going to face. Let's look and see what they did against LSU in the Super Regional. Not so fast, my friend. Coastal Carolina, its pitcher went a complete game. He throws out of 3 separate arm slots, so that was a big thing, as the Florida batters could not figure out where the pitch was coming from or how he was going to mix those pitches, kept them off balance the entire game. So Florida will start sophomore right-hander Alex Fiedo on the mound. He's got a 3.25 ERA on the season and is 13-2. Now, that second loss came in his last start at Florida State in the Super Regional. He pitched the first game that Florida went on to lose. In that game, he had a season high 4 walks and pitched a season low 4 innings. So you can bet you that kid is ready to fight and get back to his winning ways. But so is Davis Martin. Davis Martin is getting the start for Texas Tech. He didn't have his best outing in that first game against East Carolina. It wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible, it was just he left one pitch right where it should not be, and that is when Travis Watkins hit a grand slam, which ultimately gave East Carolina that win. So you're going to see a pair of young right-handers on the mounds for these two teams, as both of them came back from 1-0 deficits in the Super Regional to make it to the College World Series. Now, last year that didn't happen. This year it happened with, as I mentioned, Florida and Texas Tech. Now, offensively, Texas Tech really needs to get things rolling. Steven Smith got on base maybe once yesterday, but wasn't really effective after that. Tyler Neslony and Michael Davis had a lot of strikeouts, so that definitely needs to change. We saw Ness out here. He was, trying to hit pop flies to Hayden Howard at shortstop, and he just kind of kept fouling him back, so maybe he'll work on that and getting him out of here. Davis Martin also decided to try to hit one out of this ballpark, and I think he did and was the only one. So these guys have been having a lot of fun today, which, as I mentioned before, is good. They have been through adversity. Think back to the regional round in Lubbock when they dropped their first game to Dallas Baptist, came back to win the second one 5-3. Then they faced adversity again when they had to go 13 innings against East Carolina to keep their season alive by at least one more game. And then in that final game, they took it to the Pirates and won 11-0. So these guys have been through this before. This is no surprise. Yes, it is a bigger stage, but this is the same team playing the same game they have all season, all their lives. So you can expect Texas Tech to have a fighting chance against the Florida Gators. Now, we're going to have a lot of coverage to get you ready for this game. We've got this video, obviously, hello, and then a podcast. I think we'll have some images from today's practice that Texas Tech took. Also, I will have a feature on Texas Tech's lineup. I know we've talked about how strong they are 1-9, but breaking down individually what each one is good at, especially Hunter Hargrove, as we saw yesterday when they pitched around Gutierrez in the 8th, and Hargrove delivered with an RBI double in the bottom of the 8th to give Texas Tech what would have been a game-winning hit had Luken Baker not done Luken Baker things and sent a shot over the left field wall. So we'll have that. A by the numbers look at Florida on their outstanding season. These guys know how to throw strikes, and you will understand a little bit more about that in that story, as well as a notebook, a little quick hits on what to expect from Texas Tech and Florida. Now, all of that, once again, you can check out on LubbockOnline.com and RedRaiders.com. We're going to try to get out of this rain, so we will see you next time.